So really interesting. Malcolm Jenkins was on the Rich Eisen show today and talked about Carson Wentz. Obviously, Rick Eisen was just threw out a random question to Malcolm Jenkins about your former team, the Philadelphia Eagles. What's going on with Carson Wentz? What's going on with it over in Philly? Malcolm Jenkins was pretty much straightforward with it and said, there's got to be competition. I wouldn't say he threw Wentz under the bus, but Malcolm Jenkins said that he was, the Eagles have been really just slapping the wrist on Carson Wentz, that there was too much leeway, which there definitely was. I mean, Carson never got reprimanded for anything, for his actions during games, for what he was doing during games. Now, I understand there was more problems in that. I'm just discussing what Malcolm said, and that's it. Okay. There was leeway with the Philadelphia Eagles with this quarterback spot. And Carson kept getting away with it every week. Whether the rumors are true that Howie and Jeffrey Lurie wanted Wentz to stay in games and Doug Peterson wanted him to get cut earlier in the season, which I think all of us fans kind of wanted that because you can't let a quarterback keep playing like that. They were protecting his ego. Just a lot to really dissect there. It's really not even hard to think about. And Malcolm, he was the leader of this locker room. He was one of the, big leaders of this locker room, and, what he hears. And was there problems with Wentz in the locker room? And it seemed like there really wasn't too many problems with Wentz in the locker room at all. I think it was more of the coaches, the ownership, really just giving him leeway, not making things hard, not making Wentz accept any challenges, just kind of played a bad game and let him play a bad game and never really reprimanded him because of that bad game. Never really been like, Carson, what are you doing, man? What are you doing out there? But it was a pat on the shoulder going to the sideline by Doug Peterson. Something was wrong. Something was definitely difficult and wrong. And Carson Wentz, I don't know what's going to happen in 2021. Still up in the air, have no idea. But what Malcolm said, I would say he threw him under the bus. But he kind of is telling the truth. I mean, throwing him under the bus is one thing, telling a lie and lying about it, but about a player. But to say that, yeah, they kind of protected Carson's ego. They kind of gave him a lot of leeway and kind of made things easy for him. Which did not make him a better player at all in 2020. I mean, you gotta, put things behind him. Like you take a good example like Mitchell Trubisky, a guy that had Nick Foles behind him. They benched Trubisky this past year. Nick Foles came in through a few games, threatened him a little bit with his job. And you know what? Obviously, Mitch Trubisky is not really going to be working out for the Bears anymore because he played horrible in the playoffs. But to be that guy, but this is what happens. Like, you're not throwing anything, everyone's afraid of Carson to have something over his shoulder. Like, why? The guy gets paid over $100 million guaranteed, and you're afraid to give Carson a challenge. You're afraid to just let him deal with adversity. It's got to be given to him. And I'm telling you right now, even with this offseason coming up for the Eagles, I don't want anything given to anybody. Nick Sirianni said at his press conference today that every position is open. There's open spots everywhere. From hearing that statement, that means that nobody's job is safe. Nobody's job is safe with the Philadelphia Eagles. Okay? And yeah, I definitely believe that. And I believe Nick and what he said today at his press conference about competition. We can't do that. We can't put someone behind Wentz to someone that has a chance to start because it's going to make Carson nervous or it's going to make him angry or he's going to be that sensitive because of it. I mean, give me a break. Seriously. Give me a break if that's the case. Seriously, he needs to get a grip. That's not a franchise quarterback. That's not how a franchise quarterback acts. I understand there is a lot more problems with this team. I understand it's more coaching. It's everything. It's ownership. It's GM. It's everything. But at the end of the day, Carson's on the field. Carson played that many bad games this year, whether he had no run game. He didn't even look. Maybe there was a couple games, maybe the Ravens game, maybe the Pittsburgh game where Carson looked good, but, it wasn't saying much. But Malcolm was kind of right on this, to be honest. I mean, I believe it. I can believe it. I mean, I'm not saying I don't believe it at all, but, I'm not saying that's all true, but it sounds like, it's, I could probably agree with it, to be honest with you. So, other than that, guys, that's it. Carson Wentz got to be ready for 2021, whatever happens to him. But it sounds like he's going to be staying here, whatever it is, man. This guy needs to get his head on straight, and Nick has got to dig deep into him. Accountability was the number 2 thing he talked about today, and I'm telling you, he ain't going to let anything fly. Nick Sirianni and this coaching staff will not let anything fly. There is no patting on the shoulder. There's no, are you okay? No. Like, if you're not in it to win it and you're mentally not there, I don't know what use we have for any players that are like that. So, other than that, guys, that's pretty much it. Let me know what you guys think about this, what Malcolm Jenkins saying about Carson Wentz today. See you guys later. Shakes going up, files fly. Peace out, guys. Peace.